We on the podcast, baby.
Club Talk. Jay Brody. Yeah, baby, it's that Club Talk. Yeah, baby, it's that Club Talk. You're now listening to that Club Talk. And now, your host, Jay Brody.
All right, here we are, back again on another episode of Club Talk Podcast. Before I introduce my guest for the day, which is, to my understanding, this doesn't happen a lot. This person doesn't do this, so I am honored to have this person here today. we go and chop it up with her about a lot of different stuff. But before I introduce her, I want to shout out the sponsors, people who support the podcast. Shout out to HelloBlackManJournal.com, ran by my man Jamie Jenkins out there in Jackson, Mississippi. Shout out to theflyeragency.com if you're in need of any logo design, any website design, any graphics that you need to visually represent your brand and or business, hit up theflyeragency.com. And also locally, if you're out here in Columbus, to my Columbus podcast listeners, if you're trying to get right, if you're trying to get on your health tip, hit up Whitehall Nutrition Lounge. That is right off of Broad and Yearling. If you're from Columbus, you probably already know about this and probably know where it's at. So shout out to them. Thank y'all for your continued support on Club Talk Podcast. All right, man. This is a good one. This is a treat. This is a treat. This is highly anticipated. Let me give her proper introduction because this may not happen again. So I gotta make this right. Singer, vocalist, writer, proud black woman too. She raves that black woman flag heavy, unapologetically about it too. You've seen her with the romantic hours. You've seen her all around, all about. It is the one and only Rayven Butler. Give you some round of applause right there.
Hi guys.
Right. And behind the scenes, a man who's been on the podcast 3 times, I believe now.
I think so.
But y'all can't see him today. He's not allowed. But he's here.
It's not about me.
It's not about him. If y'all want to know all about AU, go back and check the episode. You'll find out a lot about him. His story and all that stuff. So if you've been rocking with the pod, you probably already seen that episode. Dope episode too.
Dope.
Great episode. So AU is behind the scenes. Speaking of which, so before we get into it, I want to tell people how this happened.
Okay.
So
go ahead. Let's tell the people.
Yes. So Weez Fest 2022 happened.
Yes.
It phenomenal was event.
If you missed it, you missed it.
If you missed it, you missed out on a lot of dope entertainment.
Yes.
A lot of musical acts, a lot of just bouncy houses. I almost got smothered under one. It started to fall over and I'm sitting right on it.
Oh no.
And shout out to Joseph Moore.
Had to come and save y'all.
He saved me. He said, "Ron, what are you doing under there?" So, but the event was, as every year she does it, is dope. It was my first year attending it.
Was it?
Yeah, because people don't realize I'm not originally from here.
That's right.
So I'm from Philly, so I'm still making my rounds, getting out there in the community, going to events, mingling around. So it was my first time attending and thoroughly enjoying myself. Great time. So anywho, so after the event, me and AU, who's behind the scenes, we started chopping it up, and I was like, you know who's my favorite on it? I was like, Rayvens, my. He was like, word. I was like, yo, can I get her on the podcast? He was like, we can make that happen, but I don't know. I can't make no promises because I don't know. So we're talking, and as me and AU talking, you walk up.
Yeah.
And the moment you walk up, me and him is talking about like, is she going to do it or not? Or whatever. I'm like, man, yo, like, she's my favorite, man. Please let me. He's like, I can try. So then he was like, yo, she's walking up right now. So I was like, yo, I want to get you on the pod. He's like, you got to do it. And she's like, yeah, I'm down. We both was like, oh. We thought it was going to be some resistance.
It was.
Let me get your mic going on. Go ahead.
It was very smooth.
Very smooth.
Because I was expecting like, oh no, I'm not doing. What he wanted to talk to me about? Listen, this is not in my hands. He came up to me and asked me.
Yeah, right.
He wants to have a combo.
Hit the easy button.
Yeah, so
Hit the easy button.
So we wasn't sure. So you was like, I'm down, and now we're here.
We are here.
We are here. All right, man. Let's start from the beginning.
In the beginning.
Right. So born and raised Columbus, yes.
Yes.
Okay. What side of town so people can
East side.
be proud? Like, yeah, she represent my side.
Yeah, I'm a East Sider. I get reminded
Because you're already clickish.
constantly that I am a thoroughbred East Sider, and I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. Like, I'm
That doesn't
centrally
bother
located to everything. Yeah, except everything on the north side. So you know.
Edit that out, and you.
Oh my gosh. So yes, I am painfully reminded that I am a tried and true East Sider, which is fine with me. But
Okay.
yeah, born and raised in the city, East Side, graduated from Eastmore Academy. Whoop whoop.
Ah, nice.
Let's see, I'm back in school now.
Back in school.
Yes, so I am
Okay.
in pursuit of my bachelor's now.
Nice.
Pray
What
my
we
strength.
majoring in? What we doing?
Business,
Ooh.
which I have no business doing right now.
Why do you say that?
Because it is contributing to a few grades that we done got up here, but it's okay.
Stressing
It's
you
all-
out.
Listen.
Because I imagine you're probably bouncing a lot right now.
Oh,
Juggling the school thing.
okay. Okay.
We'll talk about it. We'll get into it. Okay, so East Side.
Yeah.
All right. So another thing me and you was talking about, he was like, yo, she got this whole religious, this gospel background, this church
Yeah.
background. She a thug, yo. Don't believe that shit.
Oh my gosh.
he was like, yo, don't fall for that good girl that he was like, she a thug.
I don't know. I
What's
don't
that?
know what you mean.
I got tricked. I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta come like this.
Oh my God.
No, I don't. I
Don't believe it, y'all. Don't believe it.
Yeah. And I was thinking about this too because like you said, like you don't do this a lot, and I was thinking about like how special or how unique people will see this, like you doing this.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of times, because like people who pay the background and they're not publicly out there like that, but people know them and they know what they do. But like I think like when this comes out, people are going to be like, they're going to see a side of you or probably learn something new.
Hey, I hope so. Reach one, teach one.
Okay, so the growing up in the church,
Yes.
was that always how it was in your household?
Yes, very much so. Come
Okay.
from a religious background, got roots down in the church and whatnot. My family actually chartered a church in Cleveland because
Nice.
my mother's side of the family is from Cleveland.
Ah, okay.
So shout out to the clan,
To the clan.
but I my family is very much so seated in religion. So that was pretty much a part of my everyday life as growing up, even still now.
Still?
Wow. There are just some things that you can't really deviate from, and that's one of the things that I really can't deviate from. I grew up with the motto of, if you can go out on Saturday night, you can get up and wash your tail and go to church Sunday morning.
Goddamn.
So so that's kind of how I roll.
Wow. So it was like no excuses. Like we
Not
ain't
really
missing church. Like,
yeah, not really. I mean, every once in a while, but not for the most part. Not really. Hey, I get in, go in, say what's up to the big homie Jesus, and I whoop, whoop.
was it ever a point where you was like, fuck the church shit?
Quite
I'm
honestly-
out. Like I was like, come on, like this is.
Quite honestly, yes.
Because I can imagine like growing up that way is very.
Yes.
You know,
there comes a point in your life where
God damn it, I want to be an individual.
you want to be an individual.
Yeah.
You start asking questions. You come to some people, and I was a part of whatever group of people that belongs to. But I came around I was about 18, 19, and I stepped away from the church real quick. And I lived on the outskirts for a while, and went through my questioning of religion, of spirituality and things of that nature, and had to either bump my head or either learn or just kind of go, that's not really for me. So I left and was gone for a while and then stepped back into church. I was gone for about 2-3 years.
Really?
Yeah.
During that 2 or 3 years, or actually like when you first made that decision, like, let me fall back and let me find myself and, do that self-discovery type thing, did people kind of like look at you like, oh,
not really?
Did they allow you to? Because like when you leave, that bash should come real hard.
I want to be very, very honest right now. Like, quite honestly, not a lot of people remember that I even left. They don't remember that I left because I was gone. But there were still some things that I was still a part of. So I would get the phone call from my mom, like, you need to come to church Sunday. Like, all right, I'll come. I was very much so late, but I still came, Right. So there were just still some things that I was still active with. But, when I left, it was more so I was given the space to kind of leave, and I wasn't the first.
That doesn't happen often.
Quite honestly, you would be surprised.
They quit the backlash your ass.
And you would think that, but there were a few of us that kind of had our moment in the sun for real. We got to go out and experience being an adult or trying to learn how to be an adult. And we did that outside of the church, not glorifying it or anything, but that was just some of us got to experience that. And eventually we made our way back to church because, again, if I can go out and kick it on Saturday night, I can get up and wash my tail and go to church.
Wow. Amazing. So during that 3-year period, where you're finding yourself, you're doing your thing, like you said, you had to bump your head a few times.
A few times.
What was some of those, if you don't mind, okay, let me stop fucking around.
Well, quite honestly, it wasn't anything, life altering. It was more so just, I guess you would call it just everyday bad decisions, just, you kind of get tired, going out every weekend. You get tired of seeing the same faces in the bar, You get tired of, you got to come up with the cover charge. You had to come up with gas money. You had to come up with drinking money. Then, Lord knows, you go get something from the food truck outside the club. Yep. So, you kind of look at a couple of different things, and then it's like your taste in people change. Like, you kind of find, like, okay, it was cool, the 2 summers that, me and this group of people was hanging tough. But then it kind of comes like, so what are we doing here? We just kicking it, or is there any elevation? And I think it comes with time, and eventually the time did come for a certain people. I look on the social media, a couple people that I used to hang with. People got businesses now. People in and out of the city doing different types of networking events. Like, everybody comes into their own, but in that moment, it's kind of just like, all right, if we not doing nothing,
What
I'm gonna go ahead and catch my cut now, because right. I'm not about to sit up here and be the boring friend and be like, oh no, I don't want to go, and then everybody's kind of just like, oh, well, why not? Like, I don't want to have to try to explain, like, I really feel like y'all niggas ain't doing shit, like, it's not an easy conversation to have, so you just grow apart from people.
It sounds like you grew out of that real fast. Because a lot of people, they still like, yo, where we going this weekend? You
very
like, I'm
much
over
so.
it. Like,
yeah, very, very much so. And then it's like you get tired of partying in your city. Like, and you can't.
True.
I knew with the budget that I had, when I was 19, 20, 21, I wasn't about to be running in and out of here going to nobody's Atlanta. I ain't got no money. I was working at Alliance Data. Come on now. I ain't had no money. Like, I was covering rent and the money for my alcohol that weekend. So it's like we wasn't running in and out of the city to party all the time. Like, that didn't come until later. But, 19, 20, 21, like, it was just like, all right.
You was over it quick.
Yeah.
Because those are primitive years right there.
Very much so. Like, doing the bar stroll and things like that. Like, it was the first Fridays, first Saturdays. Like every once in a while we go between here and Cincinnati. Like it was cool, but it's like it gets
You're like, all right,
boring quite fast.
So once you left that group of friends, because essentially when you change your trajectory in life or go back to where you've come from, there's a little. It can rub people the wrong way. Yeah. The people that circle that was, you're enjoying the fast life, y'all going out, did they kind of look at you like, all right, yo, I'm out. I'm good. Did they kind of like, Rayven, like, seriously, for real?
Yeah. I mean, it really just depends on who you align yourself with.
Those friendships can get fractured.
Very much so. And I can be honest and say, like, I don't really keep in touch with too many people from when I did kind of sidestep and start doing my own thing. We still kind of, hey, how you doing? Miss you, good, you doing your thing out here. But it was never really much so like, oh, you not coming out? Because quite honestly, one of the girls that I was hanging with, she was another girl that grew up in the church. But quite honestly, she caught her cut a little bit earlier than all of us did, so she had kind of already had deviated away and knew that, being in a part of the church, having that routine, that wasn't for her. And that was perfectly fine. Yeah. So when I decided, I really don't think that this is my steez anymore. It wasn't I was saying, you think you better than us. It was more so like, all right, well, if you ever want to kick it, just hit us up. So it was all love for real, and I can understand, not everybody gets that. And on the other side of that coin, from going from hanging out and going back into church, some people have, the abrasion of coming back into church and the people in the church looking at them a certain kind of way. Once again, I'm thankful enough that I had people around me that were trying to get me back in the church, that were around my age, like, just come, just sit in for, a few sermons, or just sit in for a few services. And eventually it were other people that realized that I was back. Like, let's get you back active, and I've been pretty much running with my track shoes on ever since. So, it really depends on who you're fortunate enough to have in your life, for real.
Nice. Hey, you check that? I thought I heard a click. Did you hear it?
No, I didn't. It's still recording.
We good? Okay.
Yeah,
I thought I heard a click. Like last time. I thought I heard something.
Y'all sound good in the headphones.
Good.
Good camera wise.
Thank you, good sir.
It's
good to have an engineer around people.
Yeah.
It is.
They can hear those cues. Like, something happened.
Right.
Okay, so the singing, the artistry.
Yes.
Did that develop in the church? Was that a gift that you was blessed with? Did that school training, vocal training? How did that?
It's kind of a melting pot of everything. So, again, my family is rooted in the church. Come from a musical family. My grandmother played piano. My great aunt played piano and organ. My grandfather played the upright bass. Nice. My mom is a singer and can kind of feel her way around the keyboard. It was kind of, music was something that I was always around. My sister is the ultimate 80s, 90s R&B head. Like, you cannot. What's funny is she's raised her kids in such a way, like, and they're younger than me, and it's like, you could literally take them to any musical battle. If it's 90s, 80s, 70s related, oh yeah, they got it in the bag, because we've just always been around music. So as far as vocals or musicality is concerned, it's kind of just something I've always been around, between school, between church, home. I could never really escape it.
Wow. And like, for people who haven't heard Rayven's voice or heard you sing live, especially, I don't know how to describe it, but you can reach what's the term I'm looking, octave or something, that, because I'm not no musician or nothing, but it makes me feel a certain way.
Oh my!
It evokes an emotion.
That's
like,
good.
It feel like it pierces and touches me. This is why you're my favorite out of the whole. Shout out to everybody in Romantic Hours, the best band in Columbus, by the way. Let me make that known.
You're damn right.
Shout out to Romantic Hours.
My G.
And so I'm on record saying that. But did you have to work on that? Like your voice, vocal
Absolutely.
training, was it always that strong? And
No. I
Okay.
mean, even still now, like, I am very particular. I try to play around with a couple of different sounds. Like, so you've got to hear, me sing a certain style of song.
Yes.
And people look at me and they're just like, would have never guessed that. Like,
Right.
I know, like, I like playing around with music. I don't like to keep myself in one vein of music.
Gotcha.
I listen to when I say a wide range, I think there's probably a couple of genres that I don't listen to, which is probably like heavy metal and like, stuff that just, it doesn't, make sense to my ear. But,
Right. Sonically.
yeah, to each his own. But, I like to play around with sounds,
Man, wow. Okay, so can you remember or recall your first performance live? Your first time hitting the stage? Are we talking a talent show in high school or something?
I mean, if you want to talk about like first
time in front of a crowd of people.
I was probably in elementary school.
Elementary school.
Well, I mean, I went to a private school.
Okay.
So the curriculum was just a little bit different than that of Columbus Public. So we did a lot more musically going to a private Christian school. We had devotion, we had a religion class, we did a lot more into the African American vein of core teaching at that time. When I was in elementary school at that point, that incorporated music throughout the day.
Gotcha.
So I would say my first real time in the sun would have been in elementary
that
school.
Early.
Yeah.
So being on the stage to you is just like,
or
do you still have those times? Like, do you still the nerves?
I am still very much so. Like,
even still,
I'm gonna throw up.
Really?
Like, yes, very much so.
What?
Yes, like
Seasoned as you are,
heart in my throat.
Really?
Like I can't breathe. Like, oh my God.
Wow. I would never
make it go away. Yeah.
Really?
Yes. Very much so. But
How
nerves
come?
are good. Like, I've come to learn nerves are good. Nerves
are
mean
good.
that
Okay.
I really am invested in how I'm presenting what it is that the people are going to hear.
Wow. That's amazing. Would you be the person you are today if you had not grown up how you grown up, your experiences? Do you think you would be the person you are right now? Do you still think you would be this person?
No, I think I would. I quite honestly, I would probably be an angrier person.
Oh, shit,
like,
really?
yes, I don't think Shut up. No, I mean seriously, because
we were talking about you, the thug part. This is not coming out.
Stupid. But no, seriously, because again, I was fortunate to, have a life experience of being able to step away from my norm, which was church, and to be able to integrate myself back into that. And mind you, I integrated myself back into church, almost from what people would call the stereotype. I came back, I was a pregnant, unwed mother,
Ooh.
And I had to kind of navigate that point of life as well as coming back into church.
Wow.
And so a lot of people do have negative experiences trying to grapple with being a young adult, having had, again, my time in the sun and it not being my steez, and then trying to get back into what was a norm of sorts. So I'm lucky because, again, not everybody got to have, a best friend that kept motivating me to just look at the bright side of things, or to have a mom that never passed any judgment on me, or to have like my daughter's godmother who, I don't think she ever batted an eye at the fact that, I wasn't married and things weren't well between my daughter's father and I. Right. Like, she never, these are things but these are things that not everybody can, say happen,
that's lucky, man.
Yeah. So, I think that had I not had some of those components, absolutely not. I would not be the person that I am now. No.
Damn, man. Shout out to the church one time.
one time for the church girls real quick.
Yeah, man. That's powerful. Cause you're right, a lot of times we don't hear that side. We always just hear like the church bashes you.
Yeah,
when you
hear
get
a lot
pregnant
of
out of
negative.
wedlock and all that stuff. It's like
you
they
hear a lot of
exile
negative.
you from.
Yeah, like so and so, this lady was looking at me crazy. She kept looking at my clothes, or she kept looking at my hair, or she kept looking at how I wanted to express my emotions in church. And thankfully I didn't have that, and so I try to take how I was received in as far as coming back into church. I try to take that with me now. If I see, especially if a young person, whether they be religious, spiritual, whatever the case may be, what you subscribe to is what you subscribe to, as long as you subscribe to something, because right now we living in some crazy times, and if you're not prayed up, meditated up, I don't know what you're doing.
Man, scary times right now.
Man, big facts.
Wow. That's so when you found out that you were pregnant at the time, did because you was young, obviously, did it feel like you have to like make a pivot in your life, or did you feel like man, like I'm not ready for this, so
and,
shit, what the fuck am I going to do?
I like to tell it's funny to me, it might be like a sense of dark humor, but it's funny to me, like I had to like decide when I got pregnant, like, was I about to be out here trying to drink Four Locos with my friends, or was I going to try to go ahead and do the right thing and be a parent and kind of quit the lifestyle? Like, when I got pregnant, Four Locos was hot. Like, so I like to make the joke, I've never had a Four Loco, like, cause I was pregnant, like and it was like after I had my daughter, they wasn't hot no more. So it was like, I had to make some decisions. I had to make decisions just like almost any pregnant woman kind of has to, whether it be your first child or your fifth child. You have to kind of decide, what kind of life are you going to put out here as an example for your little clone, for real. Like, this is a piece of you in living form. So it's like,
so you had to grow up real quick.
And I was young, so I'm still kind of feeling my way through the dark, as a parent, because hey, this is my first go at it.
Was you ready?
Hell no. Was not ready. I was not ready at all.
When you found out, did you cry in the dark? Like,
oh, fuck. No. You know what? I don't think I cried until after we finally got like a sleep schedule, and she was like, going to bed on her own a little bit.
That's when it hit you.
Yeah, that's when it hit me. Like, damn, I'm a whole mom out here. Like, this is ridiculous, man. So yeah, like, but I think it comes. It doesn't always come at the same time, because every woman's pregnancy is different. But I think at some point, almost every woman can attest to, at some point, the light bulb goes off. Like, all right, I'm responsible for another human being in the society that we're in right now. So it's like, what we gonna do?
And that's when the switch hit.
Yeah, it better.
Sometimes it doesn't click.
Yeah, sometimes it don't, and it shows.
Yeah,
some of y'all's kids is bad.
Good God, we don't want to.
No, we ain't gonna go into that.
We could.
There's a whole nother segment.
Right. We're gonna take a quick break. We got a lot more to talk about. Break. Yeah, we're gonna take a little break, play some music. We got a lot more to talk about with Rayven. Before we take this break, let them know where they can find you at. Plug away,
go check out some art, okay? Check out some art. Now, I have been away from my art for a while. There is a reason, and there isn't a reason for that.
We're going to talk about that when we come back from the break.
But go check out some art. IG, Facebook, visual_mess. Visual mess. Go check out some abstract art. That's where you can find me. That, Romantic Hours.
There you go.
Romantic Hours on all of the things. Keep your eyes peeled for shows and things of that nature. Romantic Hours.
Definitely. Gotta go see them. If you haven't seen the Romantic Hours,
what are you doing with your life? Man, if you haven't seen us live,
experience.
What are you doing with your life?
Yeah. Yeah, and I want to get if you can help me facilitate that, I want each member on here solo dolo.
Oh, okay.
I want to interview each member
Nice.
solo
That'd
dolo.
be
I want to
good.
get on their own episode.
Nice. Okay.
That'll be real good. Y'all hear that, y'all?
Yeah,
We got podcast spot, y'all.
that's right. We can make that happen at you.
No, we can make that
My
happen.
man, there you
so,
go.
So what we got? We got Drake, Ben. Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah,
Get them
yeah.
on here solo dolo.
Yeah, come on here.
Hell yeah.
All right, all right, we'll be right back right here on Club Talk Podcast. Don't go nowhere.
Step up in the club, screaming out like, who do you love? No IG. With all of these bras, I swear one of y'all coming home. Yeah. John Wall, I'm finna flex. If I'm with you, bitch, then I'm finna sex. I don't apologize for nothing in the past. Bad boy, I'm puffy combs in the flesh. Like, oh no. DJ knocking that new joint. Molly in a drink, now she tryna fuck. Shorty face down and the bottoms up. Loud in the air and the bottoms up. Like way up. See, I'm a real nigga, I don't chase them. Throw a couple dollars for a fast break. Get a 1 tuna, that's a layup. Hater. Is it me? Yeah. Tell me it's me, girl. Do you love? Yeah. I don't got a problem being friends with you. Long as you got plans to bring your friends with you. Couldn't give a fuck if your man's with you. Girl, why you acting like I am with you? Yo, like you don't know. Getting bucky in the back at the photo. Got you missing from the party like we're homegirl. Ask shorty, can she take it? She like, oh no. The sky is the limit. Oh hell no, it isn't. A nigga, one moon and the stars. You know I got chips, is you free though to lay up? Bars. Talking about who do you love? Baby, you know I'm the one. Talking about who do you love? Baby, you know I'm the one. Are you for sure? Are you for sure? Who do you love? Are you for sure? Are you? Who do you love, girl? Yeah, of course.
All right, just like that, we are back right here on Club Talk Podcast. Rayven is here.
Yo.
Visual mess.
Yeah.
Where did this idea blossom? Visual mess. Because you said you fell back for a minute. We're going to talk about why you fell back and now you're getting things back rolling with it. So
Yeah.
where did that come from first? Where did that?
So I like to tease that I am the least artistic person in the room. Okay. I'm
okay.
the least artistic person in the room. And like a lot of people during the pandemic, I wanted to find something to do because I was a part of the group of people. While I was essential at home. So I was finding where I was spending anywhere from 8 to 10 hours a day away from home. I was spending 24 hours a day at home. So I had to find something to do to kind of keep my mind going for real during those first few months of the pandemic.
Yeah.
I wasn't about to bake no bread. You know, I seen a whole lot of people, they was making zucchini bread, they was making banana nut bread. And I'm not knocking, you know, all the new bakers and stuff that's out here, because it's a couple people out here with some new businesses that
Good for them.
that are still going, you know, while we're trying to get out of the pandemic. But my I don't know what I have no idea what made me go and buy these canvases and go and get some paint and go, you know what?
Dang.
You know what? We gonna see what we get. I want to thank Louise, Miss Wheezy, for kind of introducing me to it, because I can recall it was a get together one night at her house, and we were doing like flip cups, and I couldn't really understand it. Like, she was like, just put the paint in there and then put some more paint in there and then you put it in a cup and then you'll flip it. And so I was just like, we doing what, girl? And so, you know, I think from there I kind of was just like, okay, all right, you know, maybe I could probably do something with this. And I kept trying my hand at it, and one painting turned into like 5 a day.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I mean, yeah, if I had like color schemes or anything in my mind, like if it hit me, it was like, all right, let me see how many canvases I got around here real quick. And I would have art everywhere.
So just like that, I don't know. That's how it started.
Just like that. But I mean, it was something to kind of keep me going, you know, because I wasn't crocheting at the time. I crochet.
Okay, crochet.
I wasn't crocheting at the time. So it was just like, what else can I do to kind of keep me active?
And that was it.
That was it.
So prior to that, there was no artistic background at all. Like, was that like the first?
I color real good. I can color inside the lines real good.
So that was like the first time, like, you just bought the canvases and all right.
I went to town, like, and it was something that I could also do with my daughter, you know. So, and my daughter, like,
nice. Yeah.
You want to talk about the artists? Like, my daughter can draw. Yeah, she's heavy into anime, so a lot of her characters that she draws are of the manga variety. But like, Sister Soldier can draw, so it was something that we could kind of do together.
Yeah.
And you know, now she was just like, I'm going to my room to paint. Like, okay, girl, just don't get that paint on my floor. Like,
wow. So you started the whole thing out of that.
And that, just like that, you know. So
you took a break from it. Why?
Yeah.
Pandemic ended.
Well,
back on the road singing. Gotta write these hooks.
Listen, you know, kind of, not really.
Rehearsals.
You know, it was, you know, it just became more of like a scheduling thing, because, you know, I'm gonna say this.
Go ahead.
I don't think nobody is gonna get me for it.
They would.
But you know, I was doing a lot of this stuff like during the day, so like I would be on the clock, like let me whip these colors up real quick, and would like slide away from my desk and would be like, let me do this, because I needed the break. Because it was, where I was used to being able to take like a mental break at work and just get up, maybe able to walk around real quick, go get me some coffee. I didn't have that at home. It's like, get up and walk around where? Nigga, your kitchen is right there. Like, your room, you go in your room, you go to bed. Like, you know, so it was something to kind of like visually take my eyes off of a computer screen, because here I am, I'm at home, I'm working, I'm in school, at home behind the computer screen. So it was something to kind of like give my eyeballs a break. Kind of just how the name kind of just stuck. It was a visual mess for a while, like, because it was a mess for a while.
That's where the name come from.
And it stuck. Like, all right.
Wow. So now you got the ball back rolling with it.
You're
re-inspired.
Yes. And here's the thing, like, I think any artist in any genre of art that you're in, I think any artist will say, yeah, there's times where you're uninspired, but very rarely are you uninspired. You know, inspiration is everywhere. And if for nothing else, because of the social climate that we're in, as far as being in the pandemic, post-pandemic, trying to navigate some sense of normalcy from that, you're always going to be looking for things to do and create, because you never know when everything is going to come back to a screeching halt. So I think being able to draw inspiration, whether it be, you know, off of an idea, you know, thankfully now social media is catching on. You know, it's okay to say that you're inspired by somebody else's art. And a lot of the girls that I've been fortunate enough to follow on social media, like, you'll start seeing it now in their captions, the IB, inspired by. You know, so although this is not my original idea, it's still my interpretation of somebody else's art. I think it's beautiful now, you know, that we're able to embrace as a culture, like, yeah, I didn't do this first.
Right. Yeah.
You know, but this is my take on it. Either buy it or keep going. You know, so I think if we can keep finding ways to be inspired. Yeah, droughts now just come because, you know, art materials are expensive.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Now, is this stuff people can purchase? Can they like?
Absolutely.
Nice.
I'm open for commissions. I've had a couple people ask me to make a couple pieces for them. That Custom stuff.
So I can get some stuff done here?
Absolutely.
Hey,
Absolutely.
let's go.
Absolutely. I'm open. Visual mess on all of the things.
Nice.
I'm open. I still have pieces now that I have packed up.
Really?
Yeah, waiting on a home.
Nice. I'm gonna have to grab some stuff from you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, 'cause I need some more stuff up here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I'm gonna have to come grab some stuff. Nice. Okay, what's in terms of like, because we talk about, you know, like creation and like being inspired. What's harder to get through, writer's block or creative canvas block?
Creative canvas block, and I would say that because I don't coin myself as much of a writer.
But you do it.
Well,
you can do it.
Okay. So could I, if I had to, I probably could. But I feel like I'm a better editor than I am a writer.
Really? Break it down for us.
So again, coming from a musical family,
Yep.
My uncle has been fortunate enough to play with some notable folks. And he is a saxophonist here in the city. And he has musical friends, and I'll never forget my first real trip in the studio before I was pregnant. And I had never had the studio experience. And producer engineer, he gives me a notepad, gives me a pen, plays the beat, and he goes, I need you to write something to this. And I'm just like,
just like that.
This was not how this was explained to me. I was told I was coming in here to sing for y'all. Like, you don't got something that you want me to sing? Like, I can't do a cover for you real quick? And that was my first introduction into, okay, so if this is the avenue in music that you want to go into, this is a big component of you being an artist, being able to write your own stuff. Yeah. And that was when I was just like, oh yeah, no, that's not my steez. Right. But if you give me something, let me look through it and kind of make a couple of, alterations, I could probably get through it. Yeah. So it was then when I knew writing wasn't my thing. But when it comes to like with arrangements, when it comes to even with my art, like I'm more so on the artsy side of things. I can be, but when it comes to vocals, like if you tell me what you want me to sing, I sing it. But if you want me to write some stuff down, we about to be up here doing the hokey pokey and turning ourselves about. Okay.
Right. So that's interesting. So is your visual art more of a representation of who you are than your music?
I think it would be 50-50. So it would be 50-50 because again, especially
because they're both expression, but it's like how much of it is Rayven.
Yes.
Right?
So I would say it's about 50-50 because again, I try to be intentional, especially with doing covers. If I am asked to sing a lead is with Romantic Hours. If I'm picking a cover, I try to pick something not just for my voice. I try to pick something that I know that I can connect to. Because if I can connect this, if I can connect to this particular song and put my interpretation on it, I'm hoping that how I deliver that, you'll be able to feel or get some type of emotion out of that particular song. I teased the band. I teased Weezy at Weezy Fest with the song that I sung. The second song that I sung, the Amy Winehouse song. I told Weezy, I'm like, I'm hoping that I don't just cry all through this song. It's just I cry, and I'm like, yeah, girl, this song just does something to me. So, I try to pick things that I know that I can interpret. So even with my art, I try to push myself more with my art because I'm a girl. I'm reds, pinks, purples, and now yellows. Like I just started really kind of like branching out and trying to do, different things. So I try to interpret myself as best as I can. Yeah, through both
of them. Wow. If you had to let one go.
if I had to let one go,
gun to head, pick motherfucker.
I would probably let go of the art.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I've been.
I thought you were going to say the music.
No, you know, it's a love-hate relationship with music, and it's like my love-hate relationship with music. Like it comes down to like little things, but like if I had to pick one for the rest of my life, I'd rather be able to sing.
Really?
And use my vocal cords than to be, you know, pouring paint. You know, don't get me wrong, I love pouring paint, but I would much rather sing.
Much rather sing. So talk to me about how did you link up with the Romantic Hours, Weezy and all that. Take us how you meet these group of people.
So, okay, here's another, you know, little chuckle for you.
Yes.
So, in, you know, being with Mr. AU here,
Yes.
I've been exposed to, you know,
The man of sound of the Midwest.
listen, I've
Hear
been
on for him one
exposed.
time.
I've been exposed to
So you
know,
meet
many
AU
different-
first?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Jesus Christ,
I
this
meet
man
AU
got the-
We're
first.
trying to stay away from it. We're trying to keep it very professional, but I see you going down the rabbit hole. So
I asked a question.
Go
Hey,
ahead.
and let me get on record. I asked her, I was like, is anything off limits?
There's nothing off limits.
You did say, that. So like,
There's
I'm just
nothing
sitting here. I'm just
off-
sitting here.
There's nothing off limits.
Hey, you in the background, everybody.
How y'all doing?
Be sure to check out his full episode.
Yes. But it's like I meet him first.
Okay.
And
Give us a timeline. What year are we talking? So people can understand. He like, let's see if she remember this.
this is okay. So
We'll
this would
give
have
people
been
an idea what we
before. So we're what, like 2019?
Who?
As far as
For the,
being exposed to the band, yeah, about 2019, 2018, 2019.
2018 to be exact, for real.
So 2018, 2019.
Because Romantic Hour has been around since 2016.
Okay.
We got together that year after, then, you know, just being around
Yeah.
Weezy and having Weezy Fest, and it's like, boom.
Right then too.
So
Okay.
so about 2018, I was introduced to Weezy the band, and then about 2019 was when it was kind of like, okay, but wait, you sing, so you gonna sing with the band, right? And then it was just like, you want me to do it? You want me to do it, girl? Like, you sure? And so then it was like, okay, well, you know, all right, let's give it a shot. And I have been singing backgrounds with the band since what, 2019, 2020? 2020.
Yeah.
Officially since 2020.
2020, you know, pandemic hit, and you know, everything kind of was just like, we not about to stop. Like, come on. Yeah.
Was that something that you was aspiring to do? You know, like be background singer and do stuff like that? Like, was that a career thing for you?
I've done backgrounds before. I again, coming from a musical family, my mom was in music production.
Yeah.
So it was something that I was able to witness my mom being able to do, being a pit singer in a couple of play productions here in the city. Yeah. I was actually a pit singer at one point. So I've had the experiences in doing backgrounds. So being approached to do it, and it was just like, no, for real, we really want you to do it. It was just like, oh, okay, all right, I got you. Right. All right, you sure? And so, you know, and having, you know, a band to, you know, be like, you know, we don't care what genre it is that you want to do. You start singing, we'll funk it up the way we can funk it up. And that's literally how that goes. Right. So
did you foresee that, you know, Romantic Hours, because like they've been in existence since 2016. When you joined and came aboard, did you foresee like they would become like one of the premier bands here in Columbus as they are today?
You know what? I don't think it really even had anything to do with me. You know, I think once you get the right components into a band, especially now that I've had some time to kind of work through, you know, band stuff. Yeah. Being a part of Romantic Hours, I think if you have the right people in the right places, I I really think that, you know, that particular cast of characters, there is no limit. You know, you can do any and everything that you want to do. And I learned that through Romantic Hours, because being exposed to, shout out to Joseph Moore, you know, I've never been in contact with somebody that can hear the band playing a beat and will start rapping to it. Like
he's automatic with it.
I've never been exposed to anything like that. So, you know, you have something like that, you know, a part of a band, you know, that automatically makes you, you know, unique, because everybody's not doing that. So I think if you got the right people around you, once again, right people around you, you know, there are no limits.
Now, take us behind the scenes of like what is really like being a part of a band. Because I know it ain't all peaches and cream. Everybody ideas ain't. I know it gotta be some. Give us the real scoop.
I mean, the real scoop.
Because there's so many personalities.
And you know what? Again,
y'all not gonna see everything the same way.
Again, it takes it takes the right people. I can honestly say, fortunately for us as a band, as Romantic Hours, you know,
y'all on the same page a lot.
The very rarely are we, you know, talking about some bullshit. I ain't playing. Nigga was playing over my shit the other day. You know,
the only people that go at is me and Weezy.
And it's over more.
Y'all too. The frontliners.
And it's more so over more technical stuff. Like it's not like, well, I don't think you should sing that, or you trash. Like, it's never nothing like that. It's more technical than anything. Like, it may not even really be anything that impacts the singers or the players. Again, it can be very technical as far as, because I think y'all talked about it on Weezy's episode, you know, the battle between Logic and Pro Tools. Like, we talking like
wait. Go ahead. No, not Logic and Pro Tools.
Logic and FL.
No, Logic and
Cubase. Logic and Cubase. So, you know, it's stuff like that. Like, stuff that,
don't disrespect Logic like that.
Shut up. So, you know, it's stuff like that. But yeah, like, you know, the band it's more so, you know, if that's, especially with the players that we have, you know, the drummer that we have, you know, our lead guitarist in Drake, our bass guitarist in Mr. Silky Johnson, you know, they come up with ideas and things that are more you know, constructive than it is destructive. You know, so especially when it comes down to really complimenting the singer, whoever it is that's singing, they are more so wanting to fine tune themselves so that way they bring out the best in us as far as singers are concerned. Because if you listen to, you know, any of Weezy's songs, you know, and you hear that live interpretation of it, it's just like, wow, you know, I never would have thought, you know, they would have taken a twist or turn like that, you know, or, you know, whatever cover song it is that myself or Miss Tiffany, who is our other background singer, you know, the twists and turns that they can take in their interpretation and continuing a song, and we say finding a groove and, you know, going into that play forever vein, you know, it's just awesome to watch. But again, it comes down to having those people that, you know, they come in, we're not battling egos here. We're trying to construct shows that make sense.
Do you find yourself singing some things that you just don't want to do, but you just do it? You're like, I really don't want to do this one, but all right, since we in this, I guess we gotta do it.
So, okay, so here's a behind the scenes scoop for you. So when it comes to shaking up songs, it's more so the band that'll go like, we're tired of playing this song, so let's find something new. And we as singers, and I know Weezy would definitely co-sign me when I say this. When you feel like that as a player, you need to come with a suggestion.
You just can't say it.
You just can't say that you want to take this song off the list, off the rotation, and not have a suggestion to put in place. And it's not necessarily a suggestion for us to sing. It could be a suggestion for the band to actually find their own groove and play. That's what I like about us as far as how how Weezy has constructed this band. Yeah. 'Cause this is Weezy's baby, but how she's constructed this band, it's a free for all. It's a free form for us. So you got an idea and the band can make sense of it, go for it.
Go for it. That's lovely. That's lovely. I want to pivot real quick. Because I've been thinking about this lately, and I had a conversation with someone about this, and I want to get your take on it because you're pro Black woman, all that good stuff. Do you feel or believe that Black women are the least protected people in the United States?
Hell yes.
Okay.
I can give you so the kind of
I wanted to run this by you.
So as far as everything that's going on right now, everybody is kind of like up in arms about the Jeffrey Dahmer story, right?
Yep.
So an interesting piece that I saw Niecy Nash. She was doing a post interview for the Jeffrey Dahmer story, and I believe Glenda Cleveland was her character's name. I know it was Glenda. It was Glenda something. Glenda Cleveland, Glenda Johnson. But at any rate, she was talking about how the police, if you look at the show, the police, she had been begging the police to take her serious as far as her neighbor was concerned, and look at everything that had to happen in order for the police to finally take her serious. How many people had to die? It took that. It took how many more instances of them coming out and things of that nature in order for them to take her serious. Somebody who was calling and saying, hey, I think it's a problem here. Yep. And because Jeffrey Dahmer had the complexion for the protection, it was more so she was just being a nuisance of a neighbor.
Yes, this is Black woman just making noise.
Yes, she's just making noise, and then you take any Black woman who gets pregnant, that's a risk all in itself. Black woman gets pregnant, you go to the doctor, I can use myself as an example. When I was pregnant, my daughter, bless her little skinny heart, okay? She was a big baby. So I had some complications towards the end of my pregnancy. And I shit you not, I brought my concerns to my OB. And my OB was just like, oh, well, that's kind of typical. And I'm just like, typical? Boo, what did you talk about? Yeah. Nothing about this feel typical. Right. And thankfully at the time, my OB's office and my primary doctor's office were like right around the corner from each other. I waddled my 8-month pregnant self into my doctor's office and told her what was going on. I was having breathing problems and it hurt to take a deep breath. And so my primary doctor was like, no, that's not normal. And she was like, my concern is you as the mother before you and baby. Yeah. She's like, and what I'm concerned about is you could have a clot on your lung. You could have anything going on. She's like, so I'm going to put you on bed rest. I don't care what your OB says. And so it took me having to go to my Black doctor.
Wow.
To have her counter what my white OB said.
Wow.
And thankfully, I was able to have that type of team behind me. But then not everybody's, that lucky. Once again, not everybody's that lucky because we see the mortality rates, in companies, in nonprofits like Celebrate One. Yeah. That whole organization is, based upon helping, babies, see their first birthday. It's an organization based here out of Columbus, Ohio. Nice. So when you have organizations like that, you have to look at why do we have to have organizations like this? Yeah. Because we have so many Black women who don't have the access to the proper health care or the proper team, health team to actually have somebody go, that may not be right. You may need to take some rest. So I do feel like, in almost any aspect, financially, we still trying to fight for equal pay, not only being a woman, but you add being a Black woman into that, is you are marginally disparaged against other counterparts unless you have you're fortunate enough to have the education and whatnot behind you. So you can go financial, you can go healthcare, you can go socially, you could go educationally, you know, you could go almost anywhere you want to go. If you want to go into the church, you know, for a while it was kind of uncommon to have women preachers, you know, and to not only be a woman preacher, but to be a woman preacher with a particular title. You know, it wasn't common to have women bishops. You know, now we have them, but it took a long time for us to get to that point. So you can literally go in almost any facet of life, and you can make the argument that yes, the black woman is the most least protected of any subset of human beings.
You're right, because y'all damn near triple minority. Woman, you're black.
You know, you a woman, you black, and don't have a voice, you know.
Man. See, I told you, look at her, the angry black woman.
The angry black woman. So it's like you can't, it's almost like I have to decide, am I going to be a woman today or am I going to be a black woman today?
Damn.
You know.
Damn if you don't. Because then if you open your mouth and express yourself and it's like, see?
Yeah, it can be taken so many different ways, you know. And so that's why I say you can look at any facet of life and make that argument. Yeah. You know.
Man. How did you get into this sports stuff?
Oh man! All right,
a lot of brothers. What are we? Uncles?
No,
what are we doing?
I mean,
wrestling, football, hockey, baseball, basketball.
So I've always kind of been like in tune but out of tune with sports.
Okay.
I really started to take.
Was you a tomboy growing up?
I think every girl has a tomboy phase. I don't think that had too much to do with it.
Okay. Beating the boys up and shit.
You know, I tried to. You know, I mean, I tried.
You didn't get nowhere with it, but you tried.
I was the emotional. If I had to consider myself a thug, I was an emotional thug as a tomboy. Like I was cool until somebody started picking on me back, and I was just like, man, I can't go home. But you know, I really started to take a deeper dive into sports. I started paying attention more in high school.
Okay.
And then post high school, getting pregnant with my daughter, because I had my daughter when I turned 21 right after I had my daughter. So fresh out of high school, pregnant with my daughter, I was on bed rest.
Right.
And so my literal lineup for the day is I would get up, I would watch the news, I would watch Charmed, I would watch Supernatural, and then I would roll right into Sports Center. And so I would start watching Sports Center, and I'm like, okay, well, I need to actually see the game because I don't feel like so-and-so is really telling me what was really happening in the game. So I really started to take a deeper dive once I was home, and I've been stuck like Chuck for real ever since. Like it's always something. There's always news. We are all right now still talking about the Draymond Green situation, which I'm a part of I'm a part of the minority here. You know, if I see somebody rolling up on me, you know, with all that type of aggression, I'm going to already kind of be on guard. Like,
like you walking up a little.
You walking a little too tough, and then you got the nerve to try to go ahead and leapfrog. Like, oh yeah, nah, nah, B. I'm not about to just stand there and get hit. But I mean, that's the thing. So you know, it was kind of like, okay, everybody around me is talking about this. I gotta kind of figure out what everybody's talking about.
So you didn't want to be left out the loop.
No, and then it's, you know, it was something to watch. You know, I think I came up out of the reality TV phase in high school because reality TV, peak prime reality TV occurred in the early 2000s. I don't care what nobody say. If you don't remember Flavor Flav and Little Miss Bridget, I think that was her name. You don't remember her. You don't know reality TV. If you don't know why New York spit in that girl's face, you don't know reality TV. Like these are prime reality TV moments. Okay, so I kind of came up out of reality TV. You know, kind of, you know, high school. So it's kind of like, okay, what else is out here? You know, so sports, it's just been up like that. So
damn. All right, so what teams be liking? Who you ride with?
High school, I would be lying, and I know there are going to be a couple people that's going to watch this, and if I don't say this, they're going to be like, she lying. But in high school, I was a huge Peyton Manning fan. Peyton Manning and the Colts. I was a huge Peyton Manning fan. Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, and Tom Brady were my top three. My top three QBs.
Peyton, Drew, and Tom.
Once Peyton got hurt, Peyton got hurt, had that season-ending injury. Yep. Before he ended up going back for, what was that, one season with Denver, before that whole thing, it was kind of just like, okay, Tom Brady is over here doing his thing. But I had already had my eye on New England. There are minor players that, and it shocks the hell out of people when I say, like, so they're like, who's your favorite New England player? Like, little unknown guy named Ty Law, and I say I say names like that, and people are like, what? Like, I was really watching sports, y'all. Like, I was really trying
some sports to know Ty Law.
Yeah. So, I started, watching for various reasons, but like, that whole stretch, like football, like basketball, high school, since high school, I have been a Boston Celtics fan. So it's like, I just...
You like the Boston teams?
New England,
Celtics.
Celtics. Now, I would be lying if I said my baseball team was not the Cleveland Indians. I don't know who these new people are.
He's a Red Sox fan. Don't let it
Red Sox.
I'm not a Red Sox fan. I'm not a Red Sox fan.
Roger Clemens.
Oh my God. Don't y'all believe that, okay? I don't know that man, okay?
I don't know that man.
I don't know that man. But no, I would be lying if I didn't say I wasn't a Cleveland Indians fan. But yeah, I kind of dabble in a whole plethora of sports. Yes. Wrestling, Formula One. I love me some Formula One. And, my great aunt, she's from here, but she's lived pretty much all of my life in Vegas. And she would come every year from Vegas, and would spend like a couple weeks with us. And she was a big NASCAR fan. And I did not understand it until I finally started getting into watching racing. And I was just sat up there and I was just like, you know what, Amy, I understand now why you were really into this. And I love it. Like, people like, you just watching cars go in a circle. Like, it's more than that. Like, you really just gotta start watching it. Yeah, it's a point system. You start watching for little things, and then you start getting like the news of like trades and like people getting hurt and stuff like that. Like, it's really wild. Like, yeah.
You really into it.
I'm trying to tell you. Like, I watch a little bit of everything. I listen to a little bit of everything. Like, it's never a dull moment.
Wow. Top 3 music genres.
Oh, help us, Lord. Top 3 music genres. Of course, I would be remiss if I didn't say R&B.
Of course.
I am going to say like your bluesy kind of like feel. Okay. I'm a lover of old music, so
talk 70s.
Yeah, blues, funk. Like a top 3, it's kind of hard because I thought
you were going to throw neo soul in there.
Neo soul. I like neo soul.
I'm wrong on that one of you. Y'all fuck with the neo soul?
No, I do. But it's like if I had to pick like my true top 3,
it won't be in it.
No, it wouldn't be in it. Now maybe my top 10, but not my
creep in there.
Yeah, but not my top 3. Like, I'm a huge funk baby. Like, I love me some 70s funk. Yeah. Give me 70s funk all day.
Nice. So we do it R&B, funk, and what was the other one?
Blues.
Top 3. It's a good top 3.
Yeah, just a little something. And it's like gospel's right outside of that. Like, if I had to swap out anything, I would probably swap out blues for gospel. But it's those between R&B, blues or gospel, and funk. Like, that's like my literal. Yeah, that's literally what I'm listening to.
Nice. We here with Rayven, everybody.
It's me.
We're gonna take one more break. We're gonna play This or That when we come back.
Hey.
And the new segment on here that we didn't get to play with Weezy last time we was here. Guess the Guest Quest Bowl.
Oh.
Yeah, so new segment. So what that is, I'll explain, then we'll go to break. So guest to guest Quest Bowl. Shout out to FDZ Graffiti, who is iconic dope graffiti artist out here in the Columbus area, who is the only black woman leading it, by the way.
A black woman did that.
She's doing it. She's out here making her mark, man. She's an icon doing it. So what guest to guest Quest Bowl is, so this bowl right here, for those who watch it on YouTube and Facebook, I have a red bowl here. This bowl is filled with random questions from guests who sat in that seat or that seat. So at the end of every episode, I have guests write random questions in and they throw them in a bowl. So you can get anything, like random questions.
I remember my question because I think I wrote my question.
I think you added one last time. Yes. Yeah, you did. So yours is probably
interesting.
Here. That would be funny if you picked your own question.
Oh God, and I know my question was insane. So God.
So since then, there's been more added to it, obviously. Sweet. So when we come back, we're gonna play this. We're gonna do this or that.
Hey.
And then we'll wrap it up and get you out here. And by the way, shout out to her because we recorded this on a Saturday and her sweet beloved Buckeyes are playing. And she came over here.
Came at kickoff.
Right.
Came at kickoff.
Right. So I definitely appreciate that.
Oh yeah.
Let them know again where they can follow you at. Get all that good stuff associated with you.
Me on your Facebooks, on your IGs under visual_mess. And if you are out there in Twitterland, you can catch me at _luxury tax with 2 X's. So you come and get all kinds of commentary on Twitter.
Very interesting tag.
Yes.
Luxury tax. I like it. All right. Make sure if you enjoyed the episode so far, make sure you follow the pod. That is Cloth Talk Podcast everywhere, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. Oh, also for my independent artist, if you want to get your music played on the podcast, because I play music during the breaks, send your music to clothtalk5@gmail.com. Once again, that is clothtalk5@gmail.com. And also, listeners, if you want to submit questions for guests, you can do that too. Send that to the same email. Don't worry, you remain anonymous. I won't put your name out there.
No, I want to know who asked.
Yeah,
you want to know the person?
I'm just kidding.
I want to know the motherfucker who asked this
I'm
question.
just kidding.
Let the name stay in there. Jared, okay. This question comes from Jared.
I'm going to be like, Jared going...
You going to follow?
Crazy.
I'm going nowhere.
Crazy.
All right, we'll be right back here on Cloth Talk Podcast. Don't go nowhere.
You ain't got no time for me. Maybe you can make some time. Make a little time for me. Always on my mind, homie. Every single time I just think about how fine you just make me feel alive, don't you? I cannot deny how you make me feel inside. Make me wanna die for you. Ride for you. Make me wanna die for you. Ride for you. Die for you. Die for you. Die for you. Die for you. Always gonna be there when you need me. You gon' see me. I will ride for you. Ride for you. Ride for you. I'ma have your back. Where they at? They gon' see me. I will die for you. Die for you. Die for you. Always gonna be there when you need me. You gon' see me. I will ride for you. Ride for you. Ride for you. Die for you. Die for you. Die for you.
We are back right here on Cloth Talk Podcast. Rayven is still here hanging out.
Hi, you guys.
If you haven't already followed her, follow her. Right?
I mean, what you waiting
Tell
on?
them one more time again.
What are you waiting on? The button is literally wherever it is that you go to, okay?
Yes.
It's visual_mess. Okay? Visual mess. Go check out some art. I'm open for commissions. Hit me up.
Nice.
And if you want to take a trip on the dark side, you can go ahead on over there to Twitterland. And it is, I think I said _, but it's _, and because I'm extra, _ luxury tax with 2 X's.
There it is. There it is. And let's say if an artist is listening, can they get you on the hook? If somebody wants to collab,
hey, listen.
see, I did that at you.
Listen.
If somebody trying to get collab, get a hook, they try to.
I'm just gonna laugh in this face.
Okay. So listen, if you would like
A big ha-ha from AU in the
if you would
background.
like for me to be on a hook, I'm more than willing to work.
That's real funny.
I'm more than willing to work with you, okay? But there's a joke, okay? And
Go ahead.
I hope he watches this, okay?
Let's
We
do
gonna
it.
put this out here in the world, okay? Ilsan,
Oh damn.
I'm coming for you, nigga.
I'm sending him this one.
I am literally, I promise y'all, if I don't do nothing else, I promise y'all, it's something in the works, okay?
Right.
And Ilsan knows what I'm talking about. But if y'all would like for me to be on any of your musical things, I'm more than willing. Just hit me up. You can always get a hold of me, Facebook, Instagram. I would prefer you not to reach out to me on Twitter for your musical needs.
Okay.
Facebook or Instagram is going to be best. But I'll get the email for where you can drop any of those inquiries.
Nice.
But yes,
Nice.
hit me up for all your things.
There you go. You prefer in studio or sending tracks?
Doesn't
matter.
It don't matter.
Okay.
It don't matter.
Nah, them niggas gonna send them tracks.
Email a file.
Send them files.
Send me the stems.
I'm gonna see you niggas.
Here we go.
All jokes. Man.
This is
All
the reason
jokes.
why this episode is called I Am Vanguard.
There you go.
I Am Vanguard.
There you go. There you go.
Check that episode out. I Am Vanguard. All right, so we got guest to guest quest bowl. I'm gonna hand this bowl over to you. Give it a few shakes.
Okay.
Do not look when you pick. Look away. Close your eyes, whatever. But don't cheat.
No cheating.
So I'm gonna give it play by play for people who's listening and not watching. So right now, Rayven has the bowl. She's shaking. She's looking away. She's playing fair. All right. She's shuffling. Hand is in the bowl. She got one. Read it out.
Got one.
All right. So read it out loud and answer it honestly.
The question.
Answer
The question is peanuts or cashews?
Oh, you got an easy one.
I'm a cashew girl. Okay.
Mmm.
Cashew lightly salted with the sea salt.
Yes.
Okay.
That's how you prefer your peanut.
That's how I prefer my cashew.
Do you want to do another one?
Oh yeah, we can do another one.
Go ahead, give it a little shuffle. Guess the guest quest bowl with Rayven, everybody. All right, she's shuffling, doing the play-by-play here. All right, she's looking away, trying to find one.
Come on now, baby. This one little.
Oh, all right. Got a question.
That's the one she voted up.
She got her own question. Let's see what we got.
This is a good question.
There we go.
What was it like driving your first car?
Good question.
So my first car was a 1988 Buick Park Avenue, okay? I was driving a car that was older than me. It was in perfect condition, okay? Except for the fact that this car did not have air.
Ooh, fuck.
And we talking about them velvet seats, y'all. Them good velvet seats,
Oh,
okay?
yeah.
Hot as hell in the summertime. Now, again, this is an 88 Buick Park Avenue.
Damn.
Wasn't no CD player. So I was very much so limited to the radio. Okay. All right. I had no tunes. I didn't even have the little what was it? The little cassette tape that you could push in there that had the little mini aux cord that come out of it.
The converter.
I didn't even have that. So it was just like,
Ooh, tough
those
time.
were the experiences in my 1988 white and burgundy Buick Park Avenue. That was bought and paid for. Okay, ain't no payments on no car that's older than me. All right,
Cashed out.
cashed out. You couldn't tell me nothing until the car broke down.
How long did it last you?
It lasted me that whole summer. That car lasted the whole summer. But you couldn't tell me shit. Did a little 2 blocks and I was able to drive that car, okay? I was able to drive to work and home.
Damn.
Okay?
For that summer, that was it.
That the whole summer you couldn't tell me nothing.
Damn.
Then it was, Mom, can I please use your car?
Right. All right. This or that.
This
Couple of this or that's for you. Adele or Christina Aguilera?
Adele.
Vocally.
Adele.
Adele.
I'm saying that as a kid that grew up with like the young Christina Aguilera, okay?
Yes.
Adele, okay? And if y'all have not put her new album 30 on repeat at least 4-5 times and actually had you a glass of wine while you listen to her song I Drink Wine, you are missing out on life. So it is Adele.
I drink wine.
Yes. I absolutely
Adele over Christina Aguilera.
Absolutely.
Tony Braxton or Brandy?
Ooh, the treachery. Are we going as far as like vocals are concerned? Are we going like hit for hit?
Vocals.
Oh hell!
I think we stumped her. I think we got her.
Never mind.
Go ahead, you can chime in.
Yeah, cause like
You want to help her out with this one? You having a tough time? That's tough.
I am. I cannot.
Where we going, Rayven?
Like, okay, so like Brandy she is like clean. Like when you talk about clean vocals, baby girl can just really stand and give you clean vocals.
Okay.
When you start talking about vocal interpretations, the first voice that I hear is the vocal interpretation of Anita Baker through Tony Braxton. So that's where my hang up, comes into play.
Tough one for you.
It is very tough.
Tony
So I'm going to
Braxton
go
or
with the
Brandy?
hot take.
Uh-oh.
And I am going to take Tony Braxton. Ooh. I am going to take Tony. I cannot.
They're gonna kill you in the comments for that.
Yeah, they gonna y'all go ahead. Y'all gonna be like, she ain't no singer. She chose Tony Braxton over Brandy. I know, and I know I don't have a real good justification for it, but I'm gonna take Tony over Brandy.
Maxwell or Tyrese?
Maxwell, with no hesitation.
You quick on that one.
Like,
Not even close.
Urban Hang Suite literally shuts down Tyrese's whole career.
Damn. Just that one.
And then you talk about that resurgence with Pretty Wings. What was the other one that came out? I go insane, crazy sometimes. Like,
okay.
yeah, like that resurgence, that whole live album, like, Sweet Lady was real nice, okay, but I am going to politely defer to Maxwell.
An actor?
Oh.
Let's keep it there. Like, that's an actor going against a
I
voice
didn't
of
say
God.
that, y'all.
The disrespect.
The voice of Maxwell, the voice of God, against an actor.
I didn't say,
Jody, nigga.
I did not say any of this, y'all.
You don't co-sign these are the pins.
Listen, that hot take
is
is his hot take, okay? But I respectfully am going to choose Maxwell.
Kelly Price, Yolanda Adams.
Oh.
I know.
Okay, so genres aside, I'm going to
Just
choose.
see my face right now, like
if they use on camera the face of disgust.
Utter disgust. But it's like
Kelly Price, Yolanda Adams. What we doing?
I'm genres aside, I'm going to choose Kelly Price. Genres aside,
Kelly
I'm rolling with 1990s. She was a friend of mine.
Facts.
Heavy set Kelly Price. Okay.
yeah.
As we lay,
I want Big Kelly.
You want Big
as we
Kelly? You
lay,
don't like the new
Kelly
small
Price.
version?
I mean, she alright. She did good on Freddie Gibbs' album, but Big
That
Kelly.
song is
and
tough.
for any
The whole
other
album
singers,
is tough. Shout out to Freddie.
yeah, absolutely. But
My
it's like,
God.
another little tidbit for y'all, by the time y'all see this, I don't know if she's still going to be looking, but Kelly Price, if y'all haven't been paying attention to social medias, she was out there casting for new background vocalists. So if y'all missed it, okay? But
Damn.
if she still got it open and y'all looking for a gig, y'all better go on over there to Kelly Price's Instagrams
There you
and
go.
Facebooks and go get you linked up with Sister Kelly.
All right. Yep. So you're rolling with Kelly on that one.
Kelly
over Yolanda.
Kelly, as we lay, she was a friend of mine, Mr. Biggs' niece, okay?
Yeah. All right. Last one. Then we got a scenario for you.
Okay.
D'Angelo or Tank?
Ooh, if this was drink champs, I would just take a drink because I'm not choosing. I'm not choosing. Both.
D'Angelo or Tank?
Both.
You can't choose.
I cannot choose. Like, and here's the thing: like D'Angelo, outside of was it Brown Sugar? Outside of that, you know, I can't really say too much. But it's like Tank, I can give you.
Damn, you missing Devil's Pie though. Devil's Pie.
So then there you go. It's like outside of those, it's like
That's tough, man. That's tough.
I'm not okay. So I know this is like this ain't that podcast.
D'Angelo or Life Jennings or something
You
like that.
stupid. I know this ain't that podcast. I know this is not that channel, but I'm just gonna take a sip of water because I'm not choosing between them two. Like I would much rather have to choose between Genuine and D'Angelo. Like, and
that'd be easier.
I would more than likely probably choose D'Angelo. But you talk about D'Angelo and Tank.
Tank. Can't do it.
Y'all go ahead and get on me on them other hot takes that I may have had, okay?
Yeah.
But y'all not gonna cancel me because of that.
You ain't having it.
Cancel me for something else, but don't cancel me for that. No.
All right, so put yourself in these scenarios.
Okay.
Don't do that at you.
No, this is great.
You like these?
Yeah, I like these.
I'm anxious.
This is with her. So
Right.
I wanted to see how this comes
Well,
out.
these are softball ones, you know. These are
Oh, no, don't do that. No.
they go hard like I made them before.
Oh God.
All right, we'll see with this one. Writer's credit on a Beyonce song, or now you got to choose one or another.
Okay.
Writer's credit on a Beyonce song, or studio session with Jill Scott.
Oh shit. Oh God.
We on Claw Talk Podcast.
I know the answer.
You know it.
I know the answer.
You want to hear her say
I
it?
want to hear her say it.
I'm gonna take a drink.
There's no answer at you.
No, there's no quit time with slime over here. You gotta answer.
She got it. You ain't let her get away with that.
No, she has to answer this one.
She has to.
See how smart she is.
Let me repeat it for the listeners. Let you think about that. Writer's credit on a Beyonce song,
Help us,
or
Jesus.
studio session with Jill Scott.
All right,
what
so
are we doing?
I'm gonna go ahead on and go with another hot take here. Okay, I'm gonna go with
Let's see
another
if you was right.
hot ass take. All right, I'm not going to deviate away from this. One of my favorite artists. Like you want to talk about
In the hot seat.
One of my top 3 favorite artists. Like if I could see this woman in person,
Yes.
I would fangirl the hell out.
You couldn't keep it together if you seen this
I
one.
would probably cry.
Damn.
I'm gonna go with the studio session with Jill Scott. I tried to tell y'all it's a hot ass take, okay? It is ghost pepper.
I just
hot.
hope that she makes some money out of that session. I hope that she writes for her in that session.
Aha.
But
Or
see, here's the thing. Like
You
I would
gotta think
have-
about these things smart.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
think they jump too quick.
Yeah, see, and here's the thing. Like I would have the opportunity to actually develop that of like a tutelage under a Jill.
Okay, I see what your angle is.
So, you know, because I look at artists like Duran Burr, I think I'm saying his name correctly. But he had the opportunity to have a wonderful tutelage under that of Erykah Badu. And vocally right now, for the vein of music that he's in, ain't nobody fucking with him.
True.
You know, from vocals, from stage presence to just interactions that you see, like ain't nobody messing with him, and we can attribute a lot of that to him being able to sit under and to get that nourishment from the likes of an Erykah Badu.
Yeah.
So if I had to choose my quick claim to fame, I would take the writer's credit, for a Beyonce song.
Ooh.
But that's me sharing that writer's credit between how many other writers.
Exactly, because there's a team. Right?
So it's like I'm going to choose if this studio session will allow for me to soak up some knowledge.
Is this a full writing credit, or is this just one of the writers?
This is probably
writing
one
team.
of the this is a writing team.
So she's on the writing team.
I am going to go with being able to sit at the feet of the woman, the mastermind, Jill Scott.
You like?
I like the answer.
You like the answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to choose Mama Jill.
When you say damn Beyonce, it's like
I love her, my Virgo sister. Okay,
how many songs do we get to write with her though? Like
just that one
love
record.
Her. I love Beyonce.
But that record is gonna do what it do.
That record is gonna dance. You
so
hear
it's
me?
a B-side record or a A-side record?
No,
It's gonna be on all the sides.
Are we
Okay,
top 40 or are we just a leftover?
we top 10. What you talking about?
Okay.
This charted.
You definitely charting.
You've been
because
selected.
Beyonce.
Like we need you to write on this. Because we crafting this grand slam.
Yeah, you gonna knock it right on out the park. It's gonna dance like Juicy J told it to dance.
But you see that you'll
to-
get more value out of the studio session with Jill.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Especially if we're talking like, the one thing I've learned, especially being on the backside of music, is that a key to being an artist is your ability to actually be sociable and interact. And once you get to a certain point, I watched an interview with Sherry Shepherd and I think her name was Sherry Jones. She used to be one of the co-hosts on The View. And she made a statement that it's applicable to any facet in life. If you're granted a seat at the table, eventually your mind should go, especially when you see somebody else, especially that looks like you. It's your responsibility to scoot over and make room. So if I'm able to have a seat at the table with the likes of like a Jill Scott, and she's willing to scoot over and make room for me, I'm absolutely going with the likes of a Jill Scott. Now, again, that's a hot take.
Woo!
It's a hot take. But I like pancakes.
Pancakes over French toast?
Pancakes over French toast.
I'm with you. Wow, okay. Interesting. You made it. You broke it down. And you made it make sense for you.
Yeah, because everybody
Turn
wants
down
a
the
quick
hit
buck.
record with Beyonce.
Yeah, everybody wants that notoriety. You want the money that's gonna come behind that, because again, in being a part of the writing team, again, being on the back end of being able to see music production. Hell yeah, I would want to be on the writing team because I'm not the artist. So I'm going to get paid before Beyonce gets paid. So hell yeah, I would want to be on the writing team. But it's like, if I can actually take this and actually make something of myself and put some money in my pocket in the long run and not just have to bank on this one record that, you look at the scope of music, you hot today and you are a one-hit wonder tomorrow. So I'll take being on Jill, because how long is this Renaissance album gonna really last? Because that style of music, everybody is just now getting hip to it, but there have been artists that have been doing this style of music for quite some time, and this is a shameless plug right now, but if you want to keep it all the way funky, even from you scale it down from international fame to a local level, this man right here did almost 3 albums with that sound before your Drake and your Beyonce's came out with that sound of music for the masses.
What are you talking about?
Shout out to AU one time.
Yeah,
I'm so out tuned because it's not my interview.
You stupid. And there I am doing a shameless plug. But like when you drill it down to like that, like music is the sound is constantly changing. So before, I'm just waiting on spins from the radio for this song I was on the writing team for. if I have the knowledge that can be, poured into me from the goddess that is Jill Scott, let me tell y'all something. Right where you at in the studio with Jill.
You lose your shit.
Oh my God, I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna be singing from the floor. Okay.
I love it. All right. 1.5 million lottery win or 16 city tour with Mary J.
Repeat that
Is
I got you.
Is this 1.5 mil after tax?
After?
So this will be after your tax. So this was you a cash out with.
I'm
After
cashing
your
out.
tax. So hold on, wait, let me repeat it.
Come on.
Because you answered too fast.
Listen, come on.
Think about
Or a
it.
6-city tour with who?
16.
16.
So go ahead and repeat it in full.
Let me repeat it for the listeners. In case you want time to think about it too.
Is she a backup singer?
No, just go ahead. Go ahead.
1.5 million lottery win ticket after taxes.
Okay.
That's what you cash out with. 1.5 or 16 city tour with Mary J. Blige.
1.5 million after taxes, me please, okay?
Nigga, I'm taking that money.
I am taking that one. You said 1.5?
1.5.
I'm taking that 1.5.
What we doing with that?
I learned a long time ago, okay?
Let's go.
What?
My mama taught me she taught me some real good
fuck
life
Mary.
lessons.
Fuck Mary on tour.
No, love Mary, but
I love her, okay? I love her. Especially.
hey,
Not as much as
in
that
the-
1.5 though.
So in the universe, bruh, this is how I'm gonna get some of that starting money.
Let me
Go
tell you.
cook in Italy.
Let me tell you, okay? I'm taking, and we talking like cleared. The checks have cleared. Uncle Sam done got his money, and
Yep.
he's doing good.
That's
I'm
yours.
taking my 1.5, and I learned my mama taught me a lesson a long time ago. You hit the lottery, you don't tell nobody.
You ain't tell nobody.
your attorney, and I'm telling my mom because she's not gonna understand me spending money the way I'm gonna be, getting some things out of here. But I'm gonna pay my attorney. I'm gonna pay the taxes is taken care of. Pay the attorney. Put some money up. Invest some money in a couple of different, investment vehicles. If you do not understand investment vehicles, I also work in the financial industry.
Hey.
Do not ask me, but I want you to actually get you a financial person and get smart about your money.
Round of applause
Because
to
it's not doing nothing sitting in your pocket. It's not doing nothing sitting in your sock or your mattress. Find you somewhere to put this money and make your money work for you. Okay? But after I do that, let me tell you, I'll go see Mary in 16 cities while she's on tour. Because I'm going to be on vacation. Okay? After I get my 1.5, I'm calling my boss. Hey, girl, let me tell you, I'm out for a while. I'm going to come and holler at y'all in a couple weeks, okay? Give me that after-tax money, por favor.
Easy choice.
Easy
Not even
peasy.
close.
Not even close.
All right. Hit record. Your own record.
Okay?
100% ownership.
Okay?
You ain't splitting this with no record labels, no nothing. You
Independent. INDEPEND.
You right. You charting. You on that chart. Hit record.
Got her own house.
All right. So hit record, or Rihanna repost you and co-sign you.
What was the first thing again?
Hit record.
Hit record, or
I'm
Rihanna
gonna take-
repost you and co-sign you.
I'm going to go, okay, this is another hot take. You know what? I'm pretty sure everybody's going to be like, girl, these are not hot takes, okay? But I'm going to go with the hot take and go with the Rihanna cosign.
Ooh! Woo! Over you.
But there's an Easter egg in there with that, and I understand what she's saying when she says that.
Break it down for us. Why you go with that?
I'm going with the Rihanna cosign because it's like, I can do, again, as an artist, you have to have some type of component to your personality that allows for you to interact with people. And if somebody of the echelon of Rihanna is willing to look at me and be like, y'all sleeping if y'all not paying attention to her, whether it be in music, whether it be in fashion, whether it be in art, whatever it is that I'm doing at the time, I can take that cosign and go so many different ways with it. Because that's all you need sometimes. You just need somebody that has that oomph behind them to kind of push you where you need to be. And that means that if she's willing to co-sign me this time, what's stopping her from co-signing me again in the future? You know, so I can take that exposure many different ways, you know, and Rihanna has a wide audience, and for me to be,
her reach is crazy. She reaching everybody.
I'm not gonna box myself in with, you know, my little, because hit records will come.
I was about to say, hit record ain't little though.
You know, hit records will come. You know, if it's for me to have a hit record, it's going to be for me to have a hit record. But I'm going to take that Rihanna cosign. Because then I'm going to keep reposting it every time I feel like it.
How many people does she has to split that hit record with?
That
cosign.
She own it. See,
that cosign is
independent. So you hit record. Remember, so you independent. But you know, that's all you.
Here's the thing with the hit record. Again,
100% ownership.
100% ownership. I get that. But the problem with being an artist, and a lot of young artists don't really realize this until they get beyond getting your feet wet. Once you actually jump in the pool of being an artist, you quickly realize you are paid last. You the first one. You are the one that's up from sun up to sundown, ripping and running between this place, that place. You gotta pay not only your musical staff, you've got to pay your administrative staff. You've got to make sure that you have a legal staff. You've got to make sure that you have, if you got a family, you're going to have somebody there to help take care and supplement where you're not available.
You all tour and studio.
Like, so me personally, I'm going to take this cosign. And I'm gonna let y'all have y'all's time in the sun as an artist, because it again, like, thankfully with my background, I was able to see a lot of this for myself before, you know, linking up with the likes of an AU, linking up with the likes of like a Wheezy and the band, and then realizing a lot of this. I'd been exposed to this since I was a kid. You know, my mom was the money man, you know, so she was on the financial end of things. So I got to see her divvy out these checks and cash to people, and people get mad, you know, and stuff like that. And it's kind of like, hey, that's what it is. I got to see that. So it's just like, I think I'm gonna go on the production side of things if I have to do anything. But yeah, give me that cosign.
Rihanna cosign.
I'm reposting it every time I feel like it.
Yeah, it's out there. It's there. No one can take it away from you.
Can't take it away. Rihanna can't take it away once I screenshot it.
Even if she tried to delete the post.
You go ahead and delete that post, Sister Rihanna. Rihanna, go ahead and delete it. Go ahead and delete it.
It's the internet, man. Don't put prize anything.
Go ahead on and delete it. I bet you this screenshots don't lie.
Right, you got it.
I got this receipt.
Man, dope. That's all I got for you. I think we hit it all. I don't think I got no more this and that. So
you say it like that. That's all I got for you.
That's it. You know,
we hit it all.
Easy peasy.
You ran through those quickly.
I'm not. You know what you see. A lot of people think. You know. I'm not this way. I promise you I am.
Right.
I promise you I am.
What do most people assume that you would be like, though?
I either get, you know, I didn't think you would be, you know, why not? Did you ask me? Did you just come up and say hi? Or did you kind of just, you know, just look at me?
They say that because she just looks mean. And it's okay. It's okay.
We get it.
I guess.
You understand it.
I understand it, but, you know.
I guess I don't be seeing what people be seeing, you know. I don't be thinking I look mean, but apparently I need to work on actually.
You're not intentionally trying to do that.
Yeah, no.
Put on the resting bitch face.
No, she be spaced out.
That's what it is.
Like when she be creating, like she be spaced out.
So it may look like
like you could be sitting there talking to her. Hey, oh, what's up? Oh,
and it come off the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like that she ignored me for okay. Mm-hmm. But it's not intentional.
Look at her face.
Say.
You're not intentionally being this way.
No. No, not at all. I promise you I'm not. I'm probably the goofiest, countryest city girl you will ever meet. I pinky promise you that.
Nice. Let's end it on this note. Biggest misconception about Rayven. We'll wrap it up.
Biggest misconception about me is that I give a damn. I'm just playing. Just playing. Biggest misconception about me.
Or is she?
Right. Or am I? Biggest misconception about me. I really don't know. That I love these hoes? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know.
Can't think of one.
I don't, because I'm very much approachable, and I think I have kind of fostered the environment of, if you want to know something, ask me. I'm the best person to tell you what it is that you want to know, information pertaining about me. Yeah. So if you got a misconception, that's because you sitting over there with your own assumptions. But hey girl, hey, what's up girl? How you doing? Like I'm constantly, I'm that person. I'm constantly just trying to inch my way into being a little bit more sociable. Okay, so that's the misconception that I am more sociable than I am.
You come off antisocial.
I come off
she ain't fucking with us.
No, very much so the opposite. I come off like I'm like the social butterfly, and I'm really not. Like I'm really like the person y'all think is resting bitch face, and it's more so just like, I don't know these people. Like I'm trying to get a feel for everybody in here before I actually start, moving and grooving. Yeah. So that is the misconception that I'm more sociable than I am. I promise y'all, I'm real quiet.
All right. As we approach almost 2 hours of talking.
There you go. There you go.
This debunked all that whole thing. I love it. And this may be the only time that you will probably see you in this type of atmosphere.
I know. And you know what?
Because you don't do this a lot.
I don't.
It's nice, right? It's fun.
This is nice.
It's not bad.
I watch a lot of podcasts, and I know that there's a lot that goes into it, but I like it. Yeah. This is nice.
Nice. Well, we have to...
Now you just give her
get her better in the back.
Her radio podcast now.
She gonna start her whole podcast now.
I don't know if I got the time, the space, or the equipment to curate my own podcast.
Yeah, it takes a lot.
Well, if she put her mind to it, she can do it.
She can do it. I mean, you pulled off a lot of shit in your life already, so. I wouldn't be surprised if, we see a podcast out of nowhere.
Listen, don't.
I mean, you got the guy to produce it. Make sure your sound right, hook you up.
Listen,
already got the equipment, so you ain't gotta buy nothing. I gotta just use this shit. Everything's in the house right there.
Everything is right there. So, but I don't think I will. But this was dope. This was really, really dope. Thank you for having me.
No, I'm glad that you, like I said, you're my favorite member. Out of romantic hours. With respect to everyone. We're going to get y'all on here individually, so don't get your panties in a bunch.
Hell yeah.
Her social for 2 hours.
Yeah. Y'all never see this ever again. This is why y'all can follow her on social medias.
Follow me on all of your things. Go, please check out some art. Go and play in nature at some point before it gets too cold. Y'all just continue to be great human beings, everybody.
There it is.
Make good choices.
There it is. If you enjoyed this episode, if you fucking with Rayven, the links will be in the description to where you can follow her at, where you connect with her at. An artist, if y'all want to collab, go through Vanguard. Go through AU.
Like I said, ill son, I'm coming for you.
All right. All the links will be in the description of the episode. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll see you again on another episode of Cloth Talk Podcast. Peace.
Bye, you guys.